Hello, everyone. This is Shani Jones, your resident certified sex coach, and we are here to talk about the question, how many sexual partners is too many? But before we do that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates. Uh, again, I want to know your thoughts on these topics. We're a community. KNKY is a community, and I want to have you comment and share and get feedback on these conversations, because again, the more that we share, the more insights we have, the easier it is for us to help figure out our lives, because again, we're not in this alone. No one is in this alone. The world, we are connected individuals, so connected. So let's connect. All right. And don't forget, you can follow me across all social media and the web at DOYOUKNKY. So, how many sexual partners over time? This is not at the same time. We did a video on this, not multiple partners, but how many sexual partners over time is too many? Well, let's see. It really just depends on what you define as too many. I have a friend who is very old school, and we always talk about him thinking that sex with more than 3 people, you're a hoe, right? So your first, your ex, and him. That's it. 3 people. I personally am a fan of The Big Bang Theory, and if you watch the show, there was actually an episode where Sheldon told Penny that he could calculate the number of people that she had had sex with, accounting for her current age, her age when she started having sex, the number of guys that he had seen coming in and out of her apartment over the course of the years, divided by times this, and the answer was about 33.1. So I think he just rounded down to 33 people, and she was like, 33 people? No, never. So, 33 was a bit high for her. There are those that can count on one hand, less than one hand, how many people they've had sex with. There are people who, keep track, names, numbers, keep track of everybody they've had sex with. There are those among us who couldn't tell you for the life of them how many people they had sex with. And then there are those, like I know, Wilt Chamberlain, people who actually, brag about the number of people that they've had sex with. So, you meet people, they got all of these kids, all of these baby mamas and baby daddies and all this other stuff, and you know that they've had sex. And yet, for some people, oh no, I can't be with that person. For whatever reason, I don't know if it's a moral reason or, something, but there's a cutoff, But you have to ask yourself, first, is this even a subject for conversation, right? How does the number of people that your partner had previously had sex with impact your relationship? And if you're going through this right now, I want you to literally answer that question. I'll give you like a couple seconds. So, unless your partner was a virgin at the time that you all got together and you're her only experience, you should worry less about the numbers and more on current sexual health, right? Have they been tested for STIs and STDs? Are you practicing safe sex? What are you doing to make sure that you are limiting any exposure to anything? You should be firmly aware of your partner's sexual health. Now, assuming that everybody's clean, everybody's good. There's no short-term illnesses, no long-term illnesses that aren't being managed and that you aren't aware of and prepared to deal with. If everything is great, then what you need to worry about now is the sum of our experiences. And not just with sex, with life, but in this regard, specific to sex. All of our experiences have made us who we are. So we should be aware, mindful of our current state as sexual people. Now, you could have been a person that had a lot of sex with a lot of different people, and those experiences be bad. You know, number doesn't really count for anything. If all you've had was poor, mediocre, lackluster, unsatisfying sex, maybe you kept doing it because you wanted to get it right. You know, whatever the reason, it's an opportunity to learn new skills. It's an opportunity to learn yourself as a person. You could have been a person that had a few sexual experiences, but they were all great. And you should appreciate what they learned. Even if you were a person that had a whole lot of sex and it was all wonderful, appreciate the skills that that person is now bringing to the table. You know, they didn't, we don't come out like this. We don't just know what to do. You know, that's just not how it works. When we are born sexual creatures. It's inherent in us, most of us. You know, some people reject their sexuality, period. But for those of us who, if not embrace it, acknowledge it, you want to enjoy it when you do it. So don't spend your time worrying about, oh, she fucked this person, he fucked this person. Now, the times where that could be uncomfortable is when you run into somebody that you know that has had sex with your partner, and that conversation isn't always easy. But again, if you go back to my video, this is how life kind of links it up. If you go back to the video on sex with friends of the opposite sex, especially in that instance, and they're not even friends anymore, it is what it is. It's a small world. 6 degrees of separation, people. I'm sure that you watching this video, one way or the other, you and I could connect and get back to, oh, we know somebody. And no more than 6 ways down. So stop getting caught up in the numbers. Get caught up in the experience. Get caught up in the person. Get caught up in what you could be doing together to make your sexual interactions as gratifying as possible. Life is too short to waste our time on dumb shit, and that one is a dumb thing. So, at least in my opinion. Give me your opinion. Thank you for spending this time with me. I will see you on the next video, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the new kinky you. I am Shani Jones.